What's up, guys? Today we're going to go over some product research methods. We're going to go into my laptop and I'm going to show you exactly how I do product research on my end and get started and how to track some products and what to look for, because I believe that the best way to kind of learn product research is to just kind of watch how someone does that, which you don't get a lot of opportunities to do that. So we'll dive deep into my computer there. We'll go exactly how I start to look at products, and I'll kind of share my thoughts along that throughout the video. So this is a great way to get started if you're kind of lost on product research, or if you want to kind of take it to the next level, or just kind of hear my thought process from a longtime seller. So make sure you stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoy. Just kind of digging in, what I use for product research right now is mainly viral launch, and going on their what's it called here, product discovery mode. You can kind of set your criteria in here to kind of get some product ideas. It's not my favorite place to have product ideas, but when you're stuck in first beginning, it's the best way, just because you can filter out so much in the Amazon marketplace. Otherwise, the best way I like to find ideas is just go on Amazon and searching random stuff. I'll make notes, when I'm kind of browsing shops, mom and pop shops, niche stores, even just online thinking about stuff. I'll make some notes and then go back later and say it was a lemon squeezer. I was like, I wonder how that does on Amazon after seeing it in the store. Then I'll go over here and kind of look at it and just see how it's doing. Obviously, you see it's got, the first one's got 3,500 reviews, so I wouldn't suggest going into that niche at all. But say, I didn't see that at first, I'd go ahead and, I got Jungle Scout here too, but I usually go to the viral launch one first. If it'll load. Let's see here. So I'll just go into here, kind of just see potential sales. Let's see. Yeah, these apps are always a little glitchy, which is annoying, but the thing we have to deal with when it's sorting through thousands and thousands of products. So you see here, the monthly sales are out of this world. I wonder if I'll show you our pictures here. No, it's maybe right here. I like just to kind of get a visual. I like seeing the pictures, so I know when I'm looking at the product, it's actually what I think it is. Because you go down here, and then all of a sudden this guy's a little different. Say it's an actual like lemon juicer, like the machine ones. I would know that the stats may be an outlier for sure. When we go over here, we see monthly sales. This guy, I don't know if he's just launching or what. But 8,000, the first one, incredible. 8,000, 2,300, 2,000, 2,000, 4,000, crazy numbers. Review quantity though, that's the part that really scares me. I would not enter this niche at all. To get to the top of page here, you'd have to match 8,000 sales a month, or you can dive deeper into that and kind of figure out how many sales are going in to that exact keyword. But at this point, I would not look at this any further, just because it's so crowded of a market. I'm sure too. I guess another thing I like to look at when I'm looking at the Amazon side of things is product depth. How many of these guys, these exact same items, are being sold on the first page, right? And it'll just keep coming and keep coming. That scares me, because those are the top sellers, right? There's a little different ones here and there. Maybe those do well, and you can find a niche for some heavy duty lemon squeezers or oversized or something like that goes a little deeper into it as well. But when you see all the same products being sold on page 1, and then you go to page 2, and you see the same things. You got a lot of these as well. same thing, same thing. Maybe you look into something, you know, like this is a little too low price point, but maybe you look into something like this and you find its main keyword that, you know, shows more of these heavy duty ones, and see if that's a potential. But when I can go to, you know, especially these pages too, when Amazon has a super high amount of search volumes, they put more listings on one page compared to the traditional page, where they're horizontal, they're stacked, you know, one on top of each other. So this is we're probably already 60 products deep on page 2. But if, you know, we go to page 3 and we're still seeing the same things, that's concerning to me, just because so many people are selling the exact same thing. It's just gonna be a price race to the bottom, to the floor, and the margins are gonna be super thin, razor thin, and to compete you'd have to just sell so much and invest so much. So something like this I would never really hop into unless some weird circumstance. But going back to viral launch here to get some ideas, I go in here and I usually start in the product discovery search mode. I don't know if I said that or not yet, but these are kind of the categories I like to pick: arts, crafts, sewing. Let's see here. I usually stay at baby's okay. Some of it's gated, but some of it, you know, baby blankets, something weird like that could be a potential. Books, no. Appliances, no. Usually electronics, I stay out of that just because it's super hard to source. Returns are heavy, things like that. CDs and vinyl, no. Clothing, shoes, jewelry, I never look into anything like that. Again, the return rate is super high, competitive, and I don't like that market for the type of selling that I suggest doing and sourcing. Computer accessories, maybe some accessories, but anything computer wise you're not going to want. Maybe, you know, like a desktop monitor stand or something of sorts could be the accessory that's good for us. Grocery and gourmet food, no. Health and household, yes. Industrial and scientific, yes. Kitchen and dining, yes. No. Office products, yes. Pet supplies, yes. Sports, games, no apps, no. Automotive, maybe there's some accessories in there. You can, you know, one thing I'll preach, you know, time and time again is, you know, making sure you're being creative. So if you have some weird idea and you're like, oh, let's go check out automotive, do it. You never know until you try. But it's not something I've ever seen success in. I could be wrong though. Let's see, computer photo, no. Let's see, cell phone accessories, maybe the accessories is gonna help out here. Handmade products, no. It's usually stuff you know you see a lot on Etsy, stuff like that. It's really, the sales are usually not high enough for you to make enough, and plus the labor goes into handmade products, it'd be too much where it's just not scalable. No patio lawn, yes. Tools and home improvement, yes. And then going over here, and I think I've mentioned most of my criteria on my cheat sheet and also on some of the group posts, but usually I like a product that's at least over $15. I'll do $14.97 just to be a little different outside the box. I always like to kind of switch it up. Price point, I usually go from 15 to 50, but personally I'd like to keep it around the $40 mark. When you get to the products that are 50 plus, it takes so much in inventory that it's super hard to scale, especially for your first product. I don't suggest doing that. You want something that, you know, it's fairly cheap product to bring over. You can order a lot just because the price point's lower, and you can just move a lot, and you'll just see better results that way. You'll learn a lot faster as well, instead of selling a $75 item and just because you don't have any capital you can't sell more than, you know, 5 a day. It's just, that's too slow of a process, too slow of a learning curve, and I'd rather just stay below $40. I'll do $40, 55 cents here, just to be different. Review count, nothing over 100 for my first product. I suggest that for all beginners, just because, one, if you're beginning, you probably don't know a lot how Amazon works in the back end, and you're going to be outmatched by competitors if it's anything over 100. Under 100, you'll see less sales, less potential, but you also see a lot less risk, and that's huge for your confidence, for your bank account, and all sorts of stuff. So I start there. We have quite a few products. We started under 100 reviews, and I think all of those today are still selling. Because we've had some failures, especially the ones that are a little higher risk. But the ones we've already started with, review count under 100, they've been the easiest and the smoothest. We'll put the product on there. Yeah, we're not getting 50 sales a day, but at this point, a lot of them get like 10 to 20. The margins are always fat. The competition, there's none. So when I'm doing advanced PPC, different marketing methods, our listing's awesome, our photos are awesome. It's crazy. You'll get on there even with no reviews, and you'll start selling, the 3 or 4 a day, and then all of a sudden, just because your listing is so much better than everybody else's, and there's so few competition, you become the #1 seller a lot easier than it would be, say a lemon squeezer where you have to sell 200 a day to compete at the top spot. So this is just the best way for beginners to kind of get their confidence up, get their skills up, have less risk, and kind of start your Amazon business in the right way. Again, this is a suggestion from my past experience, so you can take it or leave it, or but just what I suggest. Monthly revenue. So I suggest around 5,000 to 15,000. Let's just do 4,950 to 1,550, just being weird. Just see if we can get anything that other people won't see. Go down here to show product. I use Viral Launch, guys. I used to use Jungle Scout. It always worked well for me. I know Helium 10 is a good one, but Viral Launch is just, I met Casey, the owner, CEO. He's a super cool dude. The guy is an Amazon nerd. Hopefully he doesn't take that offensively, but the guy, if you've seen his podcast too, it's called Follow the Data. It's exactly what he does. His data is incredible. He's got a whole team of people, I think, in Indianapolis, and all he does is just do Amazon stuff all day and just report on it and improve his site. I remember we were first using Viral Launch. I'm not sure their first few tools, but it was not even 1/3 of this. And now he's got all this stuff, and I I used to have like 4 or 5 different tools for Amazon. Now I pretty much do it all on Viral Launch, and it's great. It's the best tools I've used for Amazon so far in my short Amazon career. But let's go see if we can find any product ideas here. Dinosaur puzzles, dino eggs. Let's see here. Monthly sales, 172. Price, $29.49. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. We could. I'm gonna just open a new tab here. We can check those out here in a second. Let's see. Tobacco, smoking leather. Is that an actual pipe or is it just a pouch? We could check that out too. Let's see, what's that 7K range? Monthly sales 213 at 32.89. Good potential. Let's just go check it out. Anything like pills, stuff like this, just ignore. Branded stuff, also ignore. You're looking for things that are easily made in China, not branded, not patented, not super duper complex. You're just looking for things that a Chinese manufacturer could easily make, that's kind of out there, like a tobacco pipe pouch or some dino eggs. I don't know, this one could be hard to source, but I'm more curious than anything. But pills, things like that, you'll see a lot of stuff that you'll just want to avoid, just because you can't get into that field or it'd be just too complex. These goggles, this one would be a good one, but as you see, Viral Launch is actually telling us that this is a popular result. This means that Viral Launch has seen that a lot of people are getting the same search result. So this is where I go back and I talk about being creative, right? Because if everybody's using these tools to find, which at first it's fine. This is how you start, this is how you get good ideas. So you got to start somewhere. I suggest this. This is how I started. It's the best way to kind of get familiar with what stats you're looking for, what products are out there, what niches, and you see leather tobacco pipe. Say this is just a pipe, right? And you're like, oh, I wonder if people have cases for that. Then you start searching on Amazon, pouches, pipe holders, things like that. Let's take a look here. Pipe pouch. And you go on there and you start looking and you see these weird things kind of popping up. And then that's kind of how you go down a rabbit hole. You find one idea, you're like, ooh, a yoga mat needs a yoga mat case. So you look up yoga mat case, and then you're like, well, yoga mats get kind of gross. People sweat on them. How do they clean it? Yoga mat cleaner. Yoga mat design, stickers. You go down these rabbit holes and you just have to be creative, and it takes time. I know it's super annoying. I'm not a creative person. I'm an engineer at heart. I just like math, but it's just something you got to get used to and put the time into. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Let's just, for giggles, let's take a look here. All right. So you see monthly sales 1.4 here. 304 for the one I think that's the one we saw on Viral Launch. Actually, it's right here. Sky Tobacco Smoking Pipe. Yeah, it looks like that's the same one. So maybe they're driving outside sales because they seem to be a little higher than everybody else's. So they're the only ones over 6,000. And are they different than any? See, their reviews are a little high, but not terribly scary, especially with no other really competition. Let's see. So they have a pouch case bag for 2 tobacco pipes and accessory. Does not include pipe and accessories. So they're a little different. They have 2. It's good value compared to the rest. Actually, that's the one it's on, isn't it? Right. Let's take another look. Oh no, they're both selling pretty well. Maybe it's a good brand. They're kind of the top in this little field here. Scott Tobacco Pipe. That's a good price point. Comes with a scraper, stand, filter element, filter ball, small bag, box. I wouldn't say, this kind of worries me because there's no sales depth. It's just literally that one brand selling. So it kind of scares me a little bit. But it's something maybe you could check out, maybe do some I-99 tracking and keep your eye on. Let's just exit out of that one. I don't really like it too much. I was saying there, avoid that. Viral Launch is telling you to stay away from it because everybody else is getting this result. You don't want to go into a field where everybody else is going into. It's just not fun for anybody. No one wins. There's so many products out like that, like the felt board. I try to think of other examples. Felt board. Viral Launch has got a whole list of products that people are just, it's oversaturated. I'm sure if you look through their blog or Google it, you could find their list of products to stay away from. So I suggest kind of taking a glance at that for sure. Spatula, knife, painting, mixing, scraper set. That's interesting. Take a look at that one here in a sec. Creative, no. Thermal rolls, no. I don't really like selling anything that's a commodity either. Just again, it's, how do most people sell toilet paper? It's lowest price one wins. There's no differential. Yeah, maybe I'll spend $1 extra on Angel Soft, just to, live in luxury. But mostly that stuff, just commodities in general, go down whatever's the lowest price. So you're looking for something that people are passionate about, a niche that, people are passionate about, like painting is one. The one we're about to look at here, pet stuff. People love their dogs and their cats. Sports, anything like that. Their babies, their kids. Just little random niche stuff. Surfing, lacrosse, soccer, hiking, Something that people will love and something you could do research on to make them love it even more. And you know, there won't be any shortage of sales when someone loves a product, you know, and they're passionate about it. So I really like going into the niches that people are passionate about, for sure. Let's see here. Course antenna. Nothing here. Again, you get this popular result. We got a umbrella pull. Avoid that. Scissors. You don't want to sell scissors anyways. 4. We're gonna find some winners today. Might be a long video, but we're gonna find some stuff. What is that? Bike clock? Or no, it's a fuel line. I'd stay away from that. A little bit of liability with that one. Speed cube. I've looked at these. That's pretty competitive. I wouldn't suggest going in there. We can take a gander though. Maybe things have changed. That was a while ago when I looked at that. Lots of supplements you'll find. Q-Chalk. Kind of a commodity, but not really. Something we take a look at. A lot of time I realize, you know, I'll say something, you know, that you know, to stay away from this type of product, and I'll look into it and be like, oh, well, it could have potential. Or you always want to think outside the box. You know, people will tell you, actually my first Amazon mentor, one of my first Amazon mentors, you know, everybody was saying, stay away from glass stuff, stay away from glass products, they'll break in shipping, you know, a lot of refunds will come in. But, you know, he started a glass product, no one else was selling it because everybody was scared to sell it. And, you know, he just took a few extra steps with manufacturers to, you know, assure that when it's shipped over from China or wherever he's getting it from, that it didn't break. The packaging had extra padding, and he went to a field that no one else would go into. And got a picnic blanket here. It's kind of cool. It's extra large too. Waterproof. Looks like portable tote. It'll fold into a portable tote. Yeah, that's something that's pretty cool. No. But anyways, there's no competition because he was the only one in the field. No one else would go in there, and so just thinking outside the box gave him an open wide kind of playing field, which is super cool because he just wasn't afraid to kind of be creative and do his own thing. See, let's find a couple more here and we dive deep into it. What is that? A pet carrier? Nice. Super cool. Japanese sensor set with free rakes and pushing sand pane base. Let's take a look at that. That sounds interesting. It might be one of those, what do you call them? Something gardens. Zen gardens, yeah. Let's find a couple more here. Hammock rainfly here. What is that? My phone's going crazy here. Let me just silence that. So let's take a look into that one. All right, let's take a gander here. So we got painting mixing scraper set, pack of 5. So looking at this, super easy to source. What I like to do is to go back into Viral Launch for these, and then I will go to the keyword research tool, right? Because I want to find the keyword that has, you know, one of the max volumes for that particular product. So lemon squeezer, I think that's number 1. Lemon juicer's up there. I want a keyword that's super high in the volume that I know that most of that product is being sold with those keywords, because it's going to tell me the max potential of that product and the max competition of that product. So I'll go in here and knife painting mixer scraper, painting mixing scraper set. I like. Let's take a look at that. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes if the keyword doesn't have enough search volume, Viral Launch has never searched it before. Paint scraper kit. That one either. Okay. I think there's another way we could do this too. Go to Viral Launch. See if it pops up here. And then we go to track. Again, you're going to need Viral Launch for this. This is a good way to say you like this product and you want to track it. This is a good way to do it, is to use Amazon's competitor, or not Amazon's, but Viral Launch's competitor intelligence. Just will help you keep track of things. Me personally, I'm a little old-fashioned just because I like to I-99 track my products. If you don't know what that is, I have a post somewhere in the group that I'm giving away a free guide for that I use for my VAs to do I-99 tracking for me, where you guys can learn. There's a template in there as well that you can just use. It looks like this. So there's a whole guide, PDF to it, and then it has a link to this. So it shows how I track products using the I-99 method. If you don't know what that is, again, just get the guide, read through that. If you have any questions, post in the group. I'll fulfill you on that. And then hopefully I make a post a little later about that. But I got a blank template in here where you can start your own. You can see exactly how I did that in here day by day. So yeah, so we put this guy in here. So we were talking about how to find the best keyword to look at these products. So if we go and track this product with competitor intelligence, I think it's called. Let's see, get out of here. No. There we go. You just hit the track button. It's going to take you over here, and then I have it set where it's always going to go to the highest volume estimate. I think I got a estimation. Yeah, I can get rid of that. That was just a filter to look at all keywords over that. You can see a lot of them won't be necessarily pertaining exactly to your product. You know, obviously knife set, kind of acrylic paint set, yeah, but you want something that's like, you know, paint scraping kit, you know, something like that you know people are typing in and buying this product with. So we go down here, Bob Ross painting supplies. You can just click these keywords too, super cool, and it'll take you right to the Amazon page. So you can look to see if the actual product's on here, which it's not. It's just got some super cool Bob Ross painting kits in there. But we can go down here, paint set, paint palette, spatula set, putty knife, paint scraper. This could be a good place for it. Oh, these are just like actual painting houses. Keep looking here. Yeah, they don't have any crazy keywords here. Painting tools, painting knife. Let's go back to this Amazon page and just type in painting scraping, just see if we can see any products similar to them and see what kind of keywords they're using. So yeah, here we go. We see some other sets going on. So I guess it's called a palette knife painting set, something of that sort. Let's just look at these look like a lot of similar products. Let's just look at the sales on here. It's not the exact keyword, but you can see that all the competitors are on there as well. So we look, come on, work with me here, let's go. This one's got 63, that's the one we're looking at, 6730, 4,000, not terrible. 2,300 here. Again, not, what is that? That one's doing 15,000. Price is at 450. What? I don't know, I wouldn't trust that one. Yeah. Review outlier and see, yeah, even Viral Launch is saying, don't really trust that one. Again, this is just an estimate, guys. These softwares are just estimates. And so you gotta take that with a grain of salt. Again, get the I-99 tracking method. It's the only way to actually track sales on Amazon's platform. It's not perfect either, but it's the real way. Like, I will not start a product unless I do that method. This isn't terrible. It's got 3,200 here. My only concern, just looking at it right away, is how do you differentiate? How do you get better tools in this? So you'd have to dig into that and kind of see where these, this one's at 4 stars, so obviously it's getting some 1-star, 2-star reviews. What's wrong with it? Is there anything that's missing? You'll become an expert in this product field. You'll have to, maybe read some blogs, read all the reviews for all the bad, the product listings, for the bad reviews, and see what you can improve. You got to become an expert at painting knife sets, but it's the best way to kind of dominate the niche and get product that people like. And remember, someone's buying this because they paint canvases, they paint whatever, and they do it for like a living, or they do it for a hobby, but they do it a lot and they're passionate about it. So that means if they get crappy tools, even though you don't know they're crappy because you've never used them, they will know instantly. You will get 1-star reviews. They'll hate the product. It will fail. So you got to get in the mind of the consumer. You got to dig into their head. What do they want? What do they need? What do they like? And kind of read their minds a little bit before you put the product out there. It's very, very key. So maybe I take this product right here, take this, and I'll put it in my Google Doc. This is how I like to do product ideas for I-99 tracking. I'll go in here. Actually, we can just use the template. Nice. So I'll go into the blank template, file, make copy. If you got it from me, make sure you make a copy. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I set it up where you guys just can't change mine, but if you can, don't ruin it for everybody else. Just go ahead and make a copy. I made a copy here. This is my personal sheet. I'll rename it Cam's copy. I'll go in here. I like to keep it like a little keyword list. And then on own sheet, that means I've taken a blank template like I did meditation cushion, and I gave it its own sheet. So I'll go in here and this is a keyword, right? It's just a keyword that I'm using to track. So I'll go to painting, mixing scraper set, or if you find a better keyword, which I'm sure there is, but it seemed to be like we found all the main products using that keyword, so that's all you really want. If there's easily a keyword that sticks out, that gets the most volume and has all similar products in there, use that one. But what I'll do then is I will go into, actually I will not go into Viral Launch. I will just take these top 10 products and I'll start I-99 tracking them to see what their real sales are. And you'll eventually, after 7 to 14 days, you'll get something like this. Again, just look at this for reference. And it's just, all this is doing is just it's telling you sales by day. So for this red variation, this meditation cushion, sold 5 that day, sold another 5, sold another 5. Very consistent. Sold 4 that day, 3, none that day, 216. Sold 14 that day. And you just get a live look in on what the sales are. You can see that with all variations. Again, a 99 tracking guide, get that. I know if I'm talking about right now and you don't know what it is, I know it's probably a little confusing, but it all makes sense soon enough. Just make sure you do the research there. Going into this product, let's take a look. We got an Airmaster Speed Cube. Super cool. Let's type in, let's do Speed Cube. I like that one. I always go back to all departments there, because you can have a Speed Cube in toys and games, you can have a Speed Cube in industrial and scientific, so might as well make sure you get them all. So these are Speed Ripper Cube, nice. So these are, again, $320. Price point's a little low for these guys. You got a 10-pack here, which is for giggles. Let's take a look. Again, you can go find, I think Speed Cube's up there, but you can go in and find the best keyword for that by just kind of looking around. Speed Cube gets almost 17,000 a month, so I can assume that we're up there. I think a Rubik's Cube is pretty similar. The Speed Cube is like a different version of a Rubik's Cube, and so I think you really want to use the term Speed Cube there. Where are we at here? I'm going to close out of that one. So we're looking at sales here. Again, I don't like the price point. Monthly sales are off the charts though. We got review counts at 1,400, 1,800. Yeah, I don't like that, so I will leave. We got pool cue chalk in a very large container. I'm guessing this could be a pretty popular brand. I don't know, I'm not a big pool guy, but if it is a pretty big pool brand, you got to be careful with that, because things that are, you know, people are passionate about, especially very particular about, they could just what was it gonna, cue chalk, yeah. They could be just stuck on that one brand. But me personally, if I had a pool table, I wouldn't care. I would just find the best deal. So it looks like most of them are low price points, low quantity, but that could be an opportunity, because we saw the one we saw was in bulk and a high price point, which I love. Anytime you get a chance to increase value, increase price point, do it for sure. Higher profit margin, you know, the Amazon FBA fees become a lower percentage of your larger price point, so that's always good. So obviously this increases margin. Monthly sales are incredible. Review counts are high on these. Let's look at bulk. Pool cue chalk bulk. Okay. 12 Qs is popping up there. I don't know why. 144. Let's see. Where's that? Oh, what is that? So we got revenue. It's pretty impressive. It's selling quite a bit. So if you can get a better price point, is that the one? No. Where is our big one? Right here. So you can see they don't sell as much, but they have a higher price point. So they're up there. This is kind of interesting. I don't really like it at first glance, but it's something that has potential. Just because they're the only bulk pack. The thing that would scare me away is if this is so brand heavy that no one would buy a private label brand. But I don't know, Amazon's not about that. So it's usually about just whoever's got the best price. People are not brand centric too much on Amazon. So it's got a little bit. Let's just track some of those keywords. Let's just get that on there. Where's that? Right here. Let's track that guy. We'll get back to that later. And then might as well just take a gander at real sales here. Keyword list. Again, not all these products are going to be winners. You don't really know that until you dig into I-99 tracking. So if I'm weary about it, if I'm not sure if I want to just keep it around a little longer, I'll put it in my I-99 tracking list and I'll just kind of watch it. You know, in the first 5 days, if I don't like it, cool, stop tracking it. It's a waste of time. But you could find something cool and different. So maybe they're out of stock for the big one. This is the large picnic blanket, extra large picnic blanket, waterproof. It's kind of super cool. It's like it's padded too. It's a good listing. This is probably a private label seller for sure, or a brand. He Wolf. I'm guessing that's not a big brand. I've never heard of that. But let's just dig into that. Extra large picnic blanket. Waterproof is definitely a key feature on that. Wolf wise, 630. That's it's pretty big. On grass, oversized seats, adult, water resistant. Interesting. So I like products that have different designs, but I also don't like them. I like them for different designs because your designs could work and someone else's they don't like for some reason. But it also means if you're not creative like me or have an eye for this stuff, you'll pick a terrible design and no one will like it. And that'd be really sad to have a losing product just because you don't have an eye for design. But I just wouldn't go out of the realm of these. I just kind of mimic one of these guys if I was going to do this product, and just kind of make sure that I'm finding something that's already proven to work. You don't want to reinvent the wheel here. $29,000 in sales. It's pretty incredible. Again, it's probably only be a summer product. Could sell a little bit in Christmas. I got an outlier here. So 113.98. It's over that 100 mark, but I mean these sales kind of speak for themselves. It's got good potential where you can carve out 15K a month. This is something, it's got a little more risk. You're gonna have a little more competition, but it's something to definitely take a look at. Again, you can find the better keyword. I'm happy with this keyword because it looks like all the top sellers are on there in the top 10 for sure. I will track that one. Pet carrier backpack. Nice. I want to see a picture of a dog in it. Nice. Yes. That's so funny. Cat too. I can't imagine having a cat out there. That's so funny. I don't like products with super large amount of variations. They're hard to track. But if you do this, I wouldn't start with all these variations. I would find the one that sells the most, or maybe the top 2, top 3, and then just go with those. I mean, the more variations you add, the more inventory you have to get, and it's just tough. The more images, which are expensive. So let's see if we can pet carrier backpack. Probably spelled that wrong. Alright, I got like little backpacks here. These aren't quite what these are. That's top 1,000 right there. Yeah, that's not what I want. 1,200. Yeah, I don't like it. Too many reviews. Alright, we got a Japanese Zen Garden. Again, way too many options. That sounds like a headache to source. I'm guessing this is a supplier. And they just had all the options anyway, so they just listed them all. Color yeah. It's someone that does not know American marketing too well. What is it? Japanese Zen Garden. There we go. 99, 512. It's quite a bit. 16. Let's look at sales. There's one that looks like it's dominating with 512 reviews, which is sad. Notice I'm doing a lot of nervous humming when there's blank space in this video. I'll just, if you hear some background, just like, is he humming or not? He probably is. Again, not too comfortable in these videos, but I will get better. 10,000 there, 13,000, could be an outlier, it says. 3,000. What usually happens with these outliers, they're in a different category, and how they do it is they estimate sales by rank in categories, and it looks like everybody else is in different home and kitchen, patio, lawn and garden, where it's a little more stable where these are, but this is in toys and games, and all of a sudden it's just skewed. Again, that's why they're just estimates, but at least Viral Launch is smart enough to know that potentially could be not real. Reviews there, 253, good high price point. Wow. How many reviews? 99. Not terrible. Let's go to the 512 one. It's pretty basic and generic. That's the outlier too, but you can't outlie. The reviews are real. You can't fake that. Still pretty good high price margin. Super. I'm guessing sand comes in a bag, tools come in a bag, and this all comes in a box together, so it wouldn't be super hard to package. I don't think there's any restrictions on sand. It's just some white sand, so that's not terrible. Super weird. I don't like this guy, but track his sales anyways and see what's really going on. Waterproof tent. So it's like a tarp almost, like a tarp you can use for multiple things. Yeah. It's like a rain cover. Oh yeah, your little hammock in there. Okay, that's pretty cool. Hammock rain fly, it's called. I'm gonna do hammock rain cover. There's that humming again in the lull. 116,508. Yeah, I don't like that. 205, 169. Nope. No, thank you. Here's our dinosaur eggs. It's $30 for these things. So what happens? You put them in water. It contains a complete dinosaur puzzle waiting to be built. No glue needed. What? I'm looking to make sure these aren't patented. But if they're not, these are super interesting. Dino egg puzzle. Definitely don't do a Jurassic World one. You will be shut down. Pretty low price points here. Some are high. Reviews are pretty moderate from what I see. Monthly revenue does not look good. It's the one we found is the one with sales, so I'm guessing it's kind of a fluke. Dinosaur puzzle. Wooden puzzle pieces, yeah. I'm not a huge fan of these toys. You got increased liability with kids too. I just never been a fan of sourcing toys. I've never really met anybody that does well with toys. Doesn't mean it can't work, just something I've never had success with, so I don't really like that. So we found, it looks like 4 good ideas we can start, product or I-99 tracking with. It's pretty good for, I don't know how long this video is. Hopefully not too long. Product research, if I do product research videos, they're going to be long. There's no way around it. It's a lot of digging, a lot of searching, and trying to figure it out. So bear with me there, but if you have not get the I-99 tracking sheet, figure out how to do this. There are probably at least 20 different ways I do product research. This is the one I'd start with. This is the one to get familiar with the process. It's nothing super advanced. It's nothing special. I'm sure you've seen it on another YouTube video, but this is how I start, and I know it's super helpful just to see how someone else does it. But track some keywords. Not everybody do these ones because, again, that's not creative. You want to be original. You don't want to share your ideas with everybody else. You can for help if you trust the guy or girl. Just don't be sharing product ideas all the time. That's just kind of how Amazon works. It's like an unwritten rule, is you just don't ask for someone else's product to see their other product unless they offer. Just be respectful of that. But I hope this video was helpful. I hope you got to know me a little better. Again, this video is probably gonna be rough just because it's one of my first ones, actually the first one, but I just want to get started, and hopefully this is helpful. And don't quit on product research. It's 90% of the battle. Find a great product and 90% of the battle's over, and the rest super easy comparatively, and I can help you with all of it. All right, guys, I hope you liked that. I hope it gave you some good tips and strategies, and kind of you got to see how I go about thinking about product research and kind of my methods. If you want to get that I-99 tracking guide, do a few things for me. So go ahead and like and subscribe to this video down below, and then in the description there's a Facebook group link there. Join the video or join the group. You can talk to me there personally, ask me questions. I'll reach out back. I always do. And then also you can go ahead and get the I-99 tracking guide, the same exact guide I was using in the video. And I think that will just help you explode your product research productivity, and kind of make sure you don't find any duds, and get you on your way to find your first product. All right, guys, appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.